Hi, everyone. Welcome to LudiaTV. I'm Brandon Lee. I get to be the host, and I get to spend some time today with Michael Blumberg from Blumberg Advisory Group. And we are at Field Service Palm Springs. It's a little warm. It's beautiful outside, and we're having a lot of fun, right, Michael?
Yes, Brandon. Yeah, thanks very much for having me on today. We're having a great time out here.
Absolutely. Well, you've been in this space a really long time. You got a great name. You've got great experience. Tell us a little bit about where field service has come from and your experience in it.
So I think field service has been around for forever, as far as I know. I've been around for forever myself almost. But as soon as companies started to manufacture equipment, they needed to send somebody out there to take a look at it if it wasn't working properly. If it wasn't performing well, if it broke down, they'd have to dispatch a technician. So we're probably maybe talking about, I'd say probably around the 40s, 50s, it really started to take off. But probably the history begins at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? So, Michael, tell us a little bit about your experience in it. You're a consultant. You help a lot of companies. What have you been doing in the space over the last few decades?
So I was intrigued by this industry because my dad had a management consulting firm, which I eventually joined and took over. And he began it as a generalist management consultant. And around the early 1980s, he started doing some work for AT&T on the subject of spare parts logistics, call centers, technical support, field service dispatch. And then when AT&T broke up, he did work for all the baby bells. And that's around the time I joined the firm. And I saw that this was a large industry. It was growing. At the time, it wasn't as sophisticated as it is today. It was really pretty basic. A lot of companies, all they relied on was pen and paper to dispatch a technician, or a technician would go back to the office, be told where to go, and they drive there. And I've seen it really evolve from using mobile devices to using technology like dynamic scheduling tools to getting in some advanced technologies that we see today like AI and remote visual guidance. And it's what's blown me away about this is all these technologies are common today and everyone wants to get on board to use them. They were just ideas that we had back in the 1990s. My dad and I would talk about where this industry is going and what's out there. And we'd talk about it at conferences, and we'd get people pushing back at us. Well, it's nice you're talking about that, but the technology isn't here yet. And we'd say, it will be, and it is.
So you're kind of living in like a little Back to the Future moment here where all these things you've been talking about, now they're real, they're toys you get to play with.
Yeah, in many ways, that's true, yeah.
So tell us about this year. What's going on here? What's new? What are you seeing that you're excited about?
Well, I think we've really advanced the use of AI. We're hearing a lot of buzz around Copilot and some of the other applications out there that do something similar. Last year was all about what is it, how does it work. Now we're seeing it actually being deployed. We're seeing use cases. We're seeing applications of this technology.
What are some of the more exciting ones that you're seeing and learning about here?
I'm really interested in some of the tools that help with partner management, where it's grabbing data using AI to open up conversations and find content and knowledge to share in the partner network. I'd say that's probably it. The other one that's really interesting is how AI is being coupled with augmented reality to improve the experience of using augmented reality and remote visual guidance. Yeah.
So there's a lot of conversation around Copilot and other AI tools. You were just sharing one of the ways that you really like it, but what are some of the other areas that you think are going to be exciting in the next 12 months?
Well, I think a big one is always using AI to help you with troubleshooting and diagnosing and quickly resolving service issues. Another one would be using AI to support workflows, making decisions and automating processes.
I've heard a lot of conversations the last couple of days here around the customer experience and how is AI going to help the field service technicians and the companies behind them provide better customer service for end users?
Well, I think it will happen. It'll make them speed up the decision-making process and the troubleshooting and resolution process. And by speeding it up, I think it will help improve the morale of the technicians. If the morale is improved, then the relationship they have with the customer is even going to be that much better, because the technician is confident that they're getting the work done quickly and it's being performed correctly. And it will also eliminate what we call friction, the amount of time it takes to get an answer. And when that happens, when you have friction. You're often involving other parts of the organization to help you. And if a technician can't solve a problem in the traditional way of doing it, they may call a friend, they may call a buddy. Now you got two people involved trying to solve the problem. And AI takes that out of the equation. Because the ability to search the knowledge. Yeah.
So it sounds like this AI ability will help not only the field service technician, but it'll give them to be more efficient, save the company money, save them time, maybe not have to send a technician out a second or third time, and give the consumer a better experience overall. Exactly. Now, as you're a consultant, you're working with lots of companies. What are some of the applications that you're working on with companies right now that you can share with us about?
So our work is on strategy and market analysis. So we're working with a number of different software vendors who are either trying to establish a market for their technology. So we have one client, I'm under NDA, I can't give you the name of them, but they're using AI to determine what's the best process to move a return part from. So say a defective unit comes back from the field, it's optimizing the decision about what to do with that product. In the past, before AI, it was a very stacked decision. Part comes back, repair it, put it back in inventory. But that's not always the best place for it. You could maybe remarket it. You could sell it for scrap. If you already have a lot of inventory, that's a waste of money to repair it. Another area where AI is coming in, as I mentioned, is in remote visual guidance, helping to curate knowledge, helping a technician make it easier, faster for them to retrieve previous AR sessions, remote visual guidance sessions that are very similar to what they're doing today.
Fascinating stuff going on right now.
There's so many areas. I mean, we could go on and on. I could talk for hours.
All right, last question for you, Michael. As companies are coming in this, you have directors of operations, we have people overseeing field service, and they're looking at this and they're overwhelmed. I mean, this is a lot very quickly. What's your advice for them and how they move forward with this? Because they've got to take it serious, but it's kind of scary. It's new, and usually it's only the early adopters that get really excited, but it's like everybody's got to take this serious. What's your advice to them?
That's a great question, because I'd say that a lot of people want to fail quickly, which is good thing to do, or they just see something and they go and do it, right? Sometimes you have to step back a little bit and think this through, how AI will be deployed. What are some of the solutions where there's already available off-the-shelf technologies that could support you, maybe purpose-built solutions versus trying to go build it yourself. You might be wasting a lot of time making a lot of mistakes people have already learned how to resolve or avoid. So I think you really step back, think about what your AI strategy is, how you apply it to different parts of your business, and then look at the available state of the art, what's out there that you could already turn to.
Sounds like the partners are really going to serve customers well, because they're going to find a lot of the pitfalls before the customers have to find it on their own.
Make the mistakes for them, and
Well, Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Everybody, I'm Brandon Lee with LudiaTV. We're at Field Service Palm Springs, and thanks for joining us on another episode. See you next time.